Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Detroit Tigers franchise here on Out of the Park Baseball 25. You join us at the end of the 2033 season as your Detroit Tigers have done something special, folks. 117 wins. We now hold the record for the most wins ever by a team in a Major League Baseball season. Now, your Tigers did this off of fantastic pitching. As you can see, Joe, Yamamoto, Kim, and Crook all were fantastic. Well, Crook was just kind of okay. Um, and Matt Scott got Tommy John. So that's not good. The lineup hit fantastic. Roberts had a 401 on base, which was substantially worse than last year, but he hit for a little bit more gap power, so I guess that evens out. Sure, why not? Riley Green had a solid Riley Green season, but it was clearly a down year in comparison to any of his last like 5 seasons. So that is very unfortunate, especially considering he had a very, very strong start to the year. Colt Keith hit 34 home runs, had a 141 OPS plus, WRC plus of 137, drove in 133 runs. He was very, very good this year, and he even got his defense back in order. This was a very strong year by Keith, and I actually noticed this. Colt Keith has 323 home runs. He also has 6 more years left on his contract because this was his first year. If he can even hit 20 home runs a season for the rest of his career, he is going to pass. Um, was it Ty Cobb or Al Kaline? I think it was Al Kaline for the all-time Tigers home run record of 399. So if he gets to 400, he will set the Tigers all-time home run record. I'm very hopeful because he's been very good for us, and to have him have that record would probably help boost his Hall of Fame chances even just a little bit. Again, it's not a particularly strong case at the moment, but if he can keep this up for another few seasons, he's going to be in that like Scott Rowland category of can he make it type Hall of Famer. Um, Zion Rose had another very solid season. Good season with the bat. Good season with the glove. He was very strong in center this year. Um, Again, so far so good when it comes to Rose with the team. Shonowell had a very solid season. 3 more WAR, 133 on base, OPS plus, 129 WRC plus, 23 homers. Power numbers were down, which was a bit unfortunate. But again, he hit well enough. Another good season from him. Ben Fletcher was fucking outstanding for us. Um, Honest to God, would you be willing to take the fucking Riley Green deal of me? Yeah, the Ben Fletcher thing didn't work out, which is unfortunate, but I think I can negotiate with him in the fucking off season further. So we'll see once we get there. Connor Bennett was good again, which makes a lot of sense. Williamson actually had a much improved season. He had a 110 WRC plus. He was 1.5 or 20 home runs again. He was better than last year, though he is definitely looking more and more as time goes on as another fucking what's his name. So that sucks. Assuming Gok Sung Ok can actually learn how to like hit the baseball and not just walk, he's definitely somebody we're going to look forward to. And Emilio Sanchez, it was a very injury-plagued season, only 66 games, 101 WRC plus. Again, he has 9 years left on this contract. We'll see. When it comes to the rotation, Jackson Jobe had one of the best seasons in the sports history. I wouldn't say in the sports history. This season, Okay, you know what? Maybe in the sports history, he had a 2.32 ERA plus, 3.10 FIPS, 6.6 WAR, 11 RWAR, 51% ground out percentage, 8.1 K percentage, 5.7 hits per nine, 0.5 home runs per nine. He just dominated batters this year. 217 innings. I'm pretty sure that's a career. No, 219 innings. He would have broken it had he started it on the final game of the season, but I decided to just let him rest for the week. But yeah, Job, he's going to win that fifth straight Cy Young, or fourth straight Cy Young, fifth total. And with that fifth Cy Young, he might actually be a lock for the Hall of Fame. Like, I think he's already a lock for the Hall of Fame, um, but he's definitely going to get it if he gets that. Yamamoto had yet another just very solid season. He's been nothing if not consistent his entire time here, and for the first time since 2027, he had a sub 3 ERA. Now that might just be down to like fucking league wide trends. I'm not sure. Young Sung Kim pitched to a 2.27 ERA with a 3.14 FIP, with a 3.41 FIP, and yeah, he was very very good this year. And Nate Crook was a rookie who pitched very. I think this is a strong season for a rookie. I'm happy with how he with what he accomplished. We look at the bullpen. Sanchez was very solid. AJ Smith-Shawver actually pitched well enough to regain his stopper role. Chase Burns was bad. Like there's no like defending it. He just wasn't good this year. Mazza was actually very strong as a lefty. Scott was also quite strong as a lefty. Klein was good. Polino and Sobers were both very solid. And Perrymund came up because he was struggling. Somebody was struggling. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure somebody. Who the hell was. Ricky Hughes was actually starting games for us near the end of the season, and he was fine. Because fucking dumbass ripped his arm off like a tard. I shouldn't say that about fucking Scott, though. I am like concerned about Scott because this is like his second straight season of just not being able to find consistency all year. Um, yeah. Honest to God, it might be. I might need to try and find a way out from under this contract, and I think we will be able to find a way out from under it. But he's still at 9 to 10 months with fucking Tommy John, so it's going to be quite a while before he comes back. But yeah, this team was solid. Very solid's an understatement. This team was legendary. And it's not like this team got lucky. The Pythagorean said we should have won 118, so we were actually a game unlucky. We were 27-2 in August, 21-7 in April, 21-6 in May. We were just kind of okay in June and July, and we were 11-5 in September. So this team was fucking killing teams. One-run games and extra innings, we were above 500, but it was relatively close in those instances. You look at the batting stats, 10th in home runs, but that's like fairly typical. On base percentage, slugging percentage, we were near the top of the league. OPS, we were at the top of the league. WOBA, top of the league. Runs scored, 930, tops in the American League. Second most hits, fourth most extra base hits, second in walks, sixth fewest strikeouts, fourth in stolen bases, second in average. We were great. In terms of pitching stats, what a shock. We led in every single stat except strikeouts. And we also had the best defense in all of baseball this year. Not a shock. That's been a consistent thing with this team for years. Very, very strong defense. Let's check out the standings real quick. We won the AL Metro by 28 games over the Mets, 30 games over the Yankees, 32 over the Blue Jays. The Yankees, Blue Jays, and Mets all made the playoffs. The Nationals won the AL South for like the 7th year in a row at this point. I don't know how many years in a row have they won this division. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th year in a row. 5th year in a row that the Nationals have made the playoffs. Why do I feel like we're gonna end up having to play them again? And the Orioles have made the playoffs for the first time in what feels like quite a while, winning 84 games and taking that final wild card by a game over Pittsburgh. In the Midwest, the Twins and Rockies both won their divisions. The Rockies 11 games behind the Twins. Actually, I need to switch to expanded standings. And yeah, that basically makes sense. The gap was a bit inflated because Minnesota had all the magic pixie dust this year. And in the West, Portland won 112 games, Seattle won 95, Las Vegas won 194, and San Diego won 93. Yeah, that NL Western Division is a powerhouse. The Diamondbacks finished above 500 and didn't make the playoffs. Surprising. I am surprised though that none of these teams near the bottom of the division just got absolutely fucking curb stomped. Yeah, I'm like the Dodgers were the worst team in the division, and they only lost 98 games. Also, the Giants were plus 10 games lucky in run differential. The Brewers lost 100 games, and no other team in baseball did this year. Huh. You know, I'm starting to feel bad for the Nashville Sound. Like, these guys are just consistently not good. It's a little bit sad at this point. Like, I know they're an expansion team, but, you know, you'd think that they could just find some sort of consistency and, you know, try and, like, not suck. They called up Steve Lucas, the first overall pick from last year, from RIT in Rochester, New York, and he was actually very strong on defense for them, so that's nice. Though all of his value came from his defense. That's very cool. Thank you, Steve. Very cool. But yeah, there's your look around the league. Let's look at some stats. We had a very strong rookie class this year. Actually, we can't look at the very strong rookie class this year. In the AL, we're just going to go through this. We had Fletcher and Roberts on the average leaderboards. Nobody in home runs. 2 guys near the top of RBIs. And on base, we had a guy near the top of the league. Slugging, Fletcher was up there. OPS, Fletcher was up there. WAR, Roberts, Fletcher, and Rose were up there, but Salazar led the league in WAR. Hits, Fletcher and Roberts were near the top of the league. Roberts led the league in runs with 143 because he was the leadoff hitter, and he had a 401 on base. And, well, you just kind of expect that shit to happen when you lead off basically every game with, like, a hit or a walk. I'm a bit concerned that his walks dropped from, like, 118 to 86 this year. What the fuck, Tommy? I thought you were good at, like, one thing. Doubles, nobody on that list. But triples, we had Fletcher and Roberts on that list. Stolen bases, Roberts led the league again. Caught stealing, he was near the top of it, but he stole enough bases to where it doesn't really matter. Our old friend Parker Meadows led the league in caught stealings this year, and he did have a bounce-back season for Florida, so I am quite happy with them. 3.2 WAR, a 107 WRC+, and 11 ZR in the outfield. Good for Parker. I hope Florida got something out of that. I don't think they made the playoffs. Walks, Roberts was up near the top of the league. Sacrifice hits, Conrad Carson was up near the top of the league. I don't know why I mentioned that. It doesn't matter. Extra base hits, Fletcher was near the top of the league. OPS, Fletcher was near the top of the league. WPA added. Tommy Roberts was up near the top of the league. And Woba, he was up near the top of the league. Pitching stats, Job won 22 games. I know wins don't matter, but, like, Job legit has a shot at, like, 300 wins with the pace he's on. He's at 161 through his age 30 season, and he's averaging, like, 19 wins a season. Like, he's incredible when it comes to wins. Though, again, wins don't matter. Corbin Burns is near the top of the league in saves, but he was as mentioned, not particularly good. Job led in pitcher war, innings, not complete games, but Yamamoto pitched a complete game shutout at some point this year. He was near the top of the league in strikeouts. Near the top of the league in K per nine, though he was ninth, with two of his teammates ahead of him. K per nine, no. Walks per nine, though, he was eighth with Yamamoto quite high up there. Home runs allowed per nine, not on that list, but he was second in WHIP. Actually, he was tied for the league lead in WHIP with Yamamoto. Second in FIP, first in ERA plus, first in RWAR, second in BABIP against, first in average against. Led the league in winning percentage. Burns and this guy led the league in shutdowns, and he led the league in holds, and he led the league in quality starts. Burns is winning the Cy Young this year again, or not Burns, but Job's gonna win the Cy Young again. Fielding, Bennett probably isn't going to win the Gold Glove this year because Sean Armstrong will. We're still kind of winning that trade, but I do regret losing out on him because Armstrong is quite good. But literally anybody on here, good players. Team statistics now. Shit. Well, actually, I want to show what the National League looks like. Las Vegas has a player named Matt Bitch. That's all I'm really gonna say here. And Matt Bitch is quite good, quite good. What position does Matt Bitch play? Shortstop. Not a particularly good defensive shortstop, but good for Matt Bitch. Bitch boy. Okay, I will say this. When I saw that Las Vegas had a player called Bitch, I nicknamed him Bitch boy. That I did do that. But yeah, you can see a lot of like Starlin Cava and Josh Gibson on here. Matt Bitch. A lot of these guys on here. When it comes to pitching, who else? Not Mike. JJ Musina set literally every single fucking thing again because he's just that fucking good. The man already has like 9 no-hitters. He had a 0.10 FIP, which is honestly down from prior seasons. 16 RWAR, 5.10 ERA plus, 32 quality starts. It's just JJ Musina things. And then there's their fielding leaders. Very good for them. Team statistics, FIP. This is National League. We once again had the lowest FIP in the league by a mile. We had the lowest ERA by a mile, lowest WHIP by a mile, lowest batting average against by a mile. We didn't lead the league in strikeouts. Fewest walks, fewest home runs allowed, fewest runs given up. When it comes to hitting, like, I'm pretty sure you've already seen this, but we also wrecked face in that category too. This was like truly the best team I've ever fucking assembled, and I think this is like the fifth or sixth time I've said this over the last few years. This team was insane. Now let's look at the playoff tree. So the Yankees and Blue Jays are playing, as well as Baltimore and the New York Mets. Me and my mom are probably going to kill each other in this series because I'm a Yankees fan and my mom's a Blue Jays fan. I would never kill my mom. I love my mom. Don't worry. On the other end of the bracket, Las Vegas and San Diego play, as well as the Mariners and the Rockies. I'm gonna sim to the end of this. And I'm gonna sim to the end of the first round, and we will see who we're going to play. And what a shock! We're playing the fucking Yankees again in the playoffs. Damn, this has literally never happened before. Wow. Matt Bitch only got a single playoff win. I feel so bad for Matt Bitch. How the fuck did this motherfucker have a 392 batting average this year? What the fuck? Good for Bitch Boy. But yes, the Mets and the Nationals are on the other side of the bracket. Somehow I have a feeling that if I win this, the Nationals are going to win this, and we're going to play in the LCS for like the fucking 4th time in 5 years or whatever. And somehow I have a feeling that the fucking Twins and Beavers would win that. So if I beat the Nationals again, I have to face one of these two teams again. Actually, 3 of these teams I faced before in the World Series. The only team that I haven't faced before in the World Series is the Padres. The only team I haven't faced in the playoffs left are the Mets. This is kind of sad. Anyways, I'd like to thank everybody for watching this episode of the Detroit Tigers franchise. Thanks everybody for watching, and goodbye.